Hi, I'm Rob, and I'm going to be reviewing Transcendence, starring Johnny Depp and Rebecca Hall. Is this movie really terrible, as some people are saying, or is it an overlooked gem, or is it a movie brimming with great ideas that have a mediocre result? I'll give you my opinion coming right.
Artificial intelligence is like any intelligence. It'll start to grow, to evolve.
Imagine a machine with a full range of human emotion. Its intelligence will be greater than every person born in the history of the world.
Thanks very much for checking out R&B Reviews. Transcendence was released on April 18th, and the movie really hasn't been doing very well at the box office. Now, I didn't look or watch other reviews, but I did read on the internet that people have been placing the blame of the box office failure on Johnny Depp and labeling him box office poison. They also blamed the first-time screenwriter and Wally Pfister, who was the cinematographer on the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and this is his first time directing. And others have come to the film's defense, saying that movie critics don't know what they're talking about, and that not all the director's first films are perfect, although I would argue Orson Welles and John Huston's first films were perfect, but that's a different story for another day. So pretty much I walked into this movie cold, and the storyline is Johnny Depp plays a scientist whose big project is creating an artificial intelligence computer that can transcend the abilities of the human brain. Rebecca Hall plays his wife, and Paul Bettany plays their associate who has some doubts about the project as well as concerns about the results. There's an anti-technology group known as Rift that feels that such technology is actually dangerous to mankind and fights to stop him from establishing a world where computers can go beyond human abilities.
Revolutionary independence from technology, Rift. They're determined to stop any attempt at what you call transcendence.
I didn't think Transcendence was a horrible movie, but I did find it to be a little inconsistent in tone. To me, it was like watching an episode of an anthology TV show where there's two stories that happen to have the same theme of dealing with potential consequences of artificial intelligence. The first half I thought was much smarter, as it discusses morals about crossing the line with technology and whether it's really relying on technology as a danger to mankind. And about halfway through the movie, it became a sort of action film with a touch of horror that just happens to also have the same relevant theme. Now, I didn't really feel quite as invested, have the same investment, I should say, in that part of the movie as I had with the first part. Now, some critics have said that Johnny Depp looks bored in the film, but I have to disagree with that. I thought he did the part very well, and it was really refreshing to see him play a more, I guess, believable human being. And I also thought that Hall was pretty good as his wife, and I really liked Paul Bettany as Max. He's the associate who is, very unsure about this artificial computer project, and I think this is probably the best performance I have seen him give.
We can upload his consciousness. We can save him.
Not like this. If we missed anything, how will you know who you're dealing with? Oh my God, it's like my mind has been set. Shut it down.
Shut it down? It's
Morgan Freeman is also in this movie. He plays an employee of Depp, but he's not quite involved in the story as many of the other characters. And Katie Mara plays the leader of Drift, which is the anti-technology group, and I found her to be very stiff and monotone. And speaking of the anti-technology group, I felt like there was a very inconsistency with their portrayal. The first half of them made them look like a crazy religious cult, while in the second half they became less violent and they seemed more like a peaceful organization. And I could understand where they were coming from with their opinion. Because of Pfister's background, the movie has striking, colorful photography, and I also like the music that the composer brings to the score. The problems with Transcendence I don't think are entirely the director or the cast's fault. I think the script just needed a little bit more work, as I felt like it only scratched the surface with what it was trying to say. I don't think Pfister should stop making films. I do think he needs to keep on working. I think he needs to work on keeping keeping a consistent tone in his movies, work on directing the actors just a little bit more, but I think Transcendence shows that he can direct different types of films based on my reaction to this movie. I think Transcendence will gain a cult following over time, and I really like that the film tries to explore the morals of how far technology can and should go. I would have liked it if the whole movie either would have been, like a smart drama like the first half, or a sort of action horror movie about the potential dangers of technology and it possibly going bad. So for that, I'm going to give Transcendence a rent it on DVD rating. Alright. What did you guys think of Transcendence? Are you one of the people that are defending the movie saying it's really good and people don't know what they're talking about when they criticize it? Or are you one of the people that really hated this movie? No matter what you think, please post your comments about what you thought of this movie. I do read everything you guys send in. And if you're interested, go to the main R&B reviews page and look at some other movie reviews and consider being a subscriber. We do try to give informative as well as introspective reviews of movies that are in theaters as well as out on DVD or streaming. Thanks very much for checking the video out again, and thank you for watching.